We own.
Are we on?
Yes, we own.
I didn't see that. See, I told you. Listen, this is gonna be a crazy show today. Listen, welcome again to another show here on A2D Radio. This is Vetted. I'm Irving Fryar. This Big Dog Hollis Thomas, other side over there. Listen, hit the like button, subscribe button. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling.
What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby. I'm dying. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
Yeah, this is going to be a real interesting. This may be our best show ever. But Big Dog, you got something to tell the folk, right?
Yes, I do. I'm talking about Royal Billiards Recreation. It was established in 1982 and is located at 515 Bethlehem Pike, Colmore, Pennsylvania. 18915, or you go on royalbilliards.com. Royal Billiards is celebrating 41 years of being your ultimate man cave and game room for all of your ultimate man cave and game room desires, like shuffleboards, bars, and kitchen stools, which also comes with that throne that I showed you last time I was in studio, bars and tables. Let's not forget the hot tubs and video games, not together because electricity and water don't go together. But we also have some pool tables. And speaking of pool tables, hot off the presses, you got two brand new plank and hide 8-foot pool tables left at an amazing price of $27.95. These beautiful furniture style pool tables include local delivery, setup, and accessories. There's only 2 left. So go to Royal Billiards and Recreation at 515 Bethlehem Pike in Colmore, Pennsylvania, 18915, or go to royalbilliards.com and tell them the Tank sent you from A2D Radio and tell Marty I said what's up.
Yeah, I have a read as well.
Yes, you do.
Listen, my read is about Carlinos. Yep, Carlinos is one of our favorite places with some of our favorite people. County Line Road in Ardmore. They've been in business for 40 years. Business was started in the Italian market, y'all. It's an Italian market. Meats, cheeses, pastas, wine. It's not Italian if there's no wine. Started in 1983 by Mama Carlino and her husband, Nicola. Listen, they're in their 3rd generation of business. They do things right. They have products there, Italian products, high quality Italian products that no other establishment has here in the United States of America. You got to visit on County Line Road in Ardmore. You got to visit Carlinos. They treat everybody like they're somebody. When I was there, they treated me like I'm somebody. And that feels special. They're the best. Ask for Pat, ask for Angela at Carlinos, County Line Road in Ardmore. All right, listen, I gotta put out a disclaimer.
Well, I was gonna let me do it. I was gonna put it out there for you.
Okay, go ahead and put it out for me. I think I'm gonna say it a little bit different than you, but go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna give it to you straight talk with the boss. My counterpart is under the weather a little bit, so I'll be taking the reins just a smidgen and trying to keep him abreast of what's going on.
Okay, you got it. Well, I just wanted. Yes,
you just feel a little bit under the weather.
I've had very little. I've had very little sleep the last couple of days. I'm on drugs right now because I'm like really sick, and so if I say something that's crazy, okay, well, whatever. But that may make it a really interesting show from this point forward. So just know I'm under the influence of drugs right now.
Man. So let's get right into it. The game this past weekend. I'll give you my assessment.
Okay,
Let you think about it.
Yep.
I thought we came out and we started fast, and we put them in the place they're supposed to be.
Right.
But then I think we made some costly errors to keep them in the game.
Right.
We played down to the level of our competition, and we almost took one on the chin. With saying that is one of those things where I'm glad they didn't go with the "woe is me" or "here we go again" type stuff, because that's very well what could have happened, and this could be a disaster. We could have lost to them. I'm glad some of the guys stepped up, and the one thing that I did, it was a win that we struggled against a not so great team, but a lot of people don't know that even though you may not be going against a not so great team, that not so great team is looking to ruin you.
Right.
Like last week, what did you say? They're looking to ruin your off season.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. And if you look at this is a young team, and they want to be on the team next year. So not only are they auditioning for the current team that they're on, they're auditioning for all the other teams that may want to pick them up as free agents.
Right.
So I did not like the at the end of the first half the time management there, especially with our quarterback kind of having a brain fart there and cutting back inside, thinking that he was going to score.
Right.
But they bailed us out by doing something boneheaded. That's what bad teams do. They bail you out of situations like that. And a lot of people don't know what the flag was about. The flag was because the guy, they was trying to give the ball to the official. The defensive guy grabbed the ball and held on to it.
Held on to it. Trying to keep the clock rolling.
So trying to keep the clock rolling. So he got a bonehead penalty.
Right.
The one thing that I think our secondary is still in a little bit of disarray, but I like the way the young guys play late. And we had some bonehead, the turnovers, the slipping of Dallas Goedert.
Yeah. Whew, we could talk about that.
And everybody thinks that number 13, I can't pronounce his name, the receiver, they think he ran into him. Zacchaeus got threw out of the club. Go back and look at that play. Number 19.
He got blocked. He got knocked into him.
No, he got through. It was like, I'll tell everybody this. This happened when I was a rookie. I had to play on kickoff return team.
Right.
So it happens to the best of us. The number 5s on everybody's kickoff team is a mother sucker. and I tell you, this is a story I had to tell you because it directly correlates to what happened to the Potter.
What do you got on that stick, man? You got some food on that stick? What is that?
This is actually, it's a sloth on it's a paper clip. It's an office paper clip, but it's got a sloth on it. Tell you to do your work.
Okay,
slow.
It looked like there was some food or something on it, man. I haven't eaten in a couple of days. I'm kind of hungry right now.
But we were playing against Green Bay my rookie year in Green Bay. So you remember Ronnie Dixon?
Yes.
So he had the second team up back because I played the up back on kickoff return. They had this is how bad you know that number 5 was for the Green Bay Packers. They were coming off the championship season. Number 5 was number 49. Last name was Pop or Pope.
Pop or Pope. How do you remember that? I guess that's pretty easy to remember.
Because he shortened my neck. I ran up to block him, and he threw me out the club.
Wow.
He was about 6'6", about 250, running like a runaway buffalo.
Wow.
And so I sent Ronnie Dick said, "You want me to take this for me?" I said, "Yeah, go out there and take it." So he
it got worse for him.
Yeah, he came back looking for me, told me, "So you know what you was doing when you sent me out there?" Oh, yes, I did, sir. So that's what happened to Zapata. He got through. I watched that play again and again. Number 19 was for the Giants is a force to be reckoned with.
But you know what, Big Dog, what you're saying, this team really has gotten to the point where they seem to be disjointed, and it's gotten worse. They've kind of been that way all year, but with the exposure, with the 3 losses in a row, and then, even though they won this game last week, Monday night against the Giants, it really doesn't feel like they won because, they started out well. They started out dominating just like they should have. But they ended the first half, like you said, with a bonehead mistake. Quarterback, that was on the quarterback.
Right. Instead
of running out of bounds, he tried to stay in bounds. And, thank God, bad teams make stupid mistakes. But we were making stupid mistakes, too. The Eagles were making stupid mistakes, too. So, our record doesn't say that we're bad, but we're doing things, too many penalties that we have over the year, too many turnovers we've had over the year. Yeah. Dumb mistakes,
and not stopping it and not getting the other team off the field in a timely fashion.
Right.
We allowed DeVito to march up and down the field. We didn't give up anything spectacular to him because consequently he was benched. But the one thing that I was really ticked off at is that we didn't is the turnovers and us not taking the ball away from them. We played against 2 backup quarterbacks and they've given us all we wanted, even though they didn't score that many points. I was like, we've been playing against backups. What do you think the Kyler Murray is going to do? Which Kyler Murray's not really doing much.
And Kyler Murray just got finished having his best game of the year.
Yeah.
Last week he had his best game of the year. He threw for I got the yardage here. What did I throw it at? He threw for 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That was his best game of the year.
Yeah.
So talking about Tyrod Taylor, he comes in and does that. And that was really a bad when we needed to shut them down.
Yeah.
He comes in and throws that long ball to Waller. And again, Blankenship. No, Darius Slayton. I'm sorry. Blankenship gets beat for a 70-yard touchdown. But
you know what about that? And this comes from being a young team. And the young guys have to realize this is not college. You can't stick your nose up around the line of scrimmage if you're the last line of defense. You let them handle that and wait until they break.
Gave up a 70-yard touchdown. I didn't say touchdown. It's a bomb.
Yeah.
And when Slayton caught the ball, was it Slayton or Slayton? Slayton or Slayton?
It was Slayton. It's Slayton.
Slayton. Okay, I'm sorry. I told you my mind's jacked up. When he caught the ball, Blankenship was
nowhere to be found.
Yards behind him.
Yeah, 1 minute.
How does that happen?
Because he didn't come out of his break, and he was looking. He thought they were going to run the ball, and he was like, you study long, you study wrong.
Okay, if you starting to make your move and you make it late, make your move going backwards.
He the funny part is he didn't come out his break until way late. He was still backpedaling. Well, I was like, he is running, but he ain't going to the damn snack bar. Get on top of him, man. But
it doesn't feel like a win, though. They got to win. I talked about last week about this team needing a get right game. That this was an opportunity to play against a team, particularly defensively, that was not a very good team, that we could take advantage of, that we could use this game as an opportunity to start feeling good about ourselves. But the Eagles, they just didn't do that. They got the win by the hair of the chinny chin chin. Yeah, that was it.
It's like the funniest thing is before I get into that, we have some bills to pay right quick. Yep. So Ralphie, hit me with it.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom-reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
We are back in the house. Listen, did you see my message I just sent to you?
No.
Check the messages.
Okay.
Check the messages, Ralph. All right, just so we're all on the same page.
Okay.
I just got a text message. But yeah, we're in a position now. This team just, to me, I don't know if I said this last week on our show or I said it on another show. If I said it on this show, please forgive me for repeating myself. But I said this last week, how this team has really, to me, has lost. They're not hungry like they used to be. Did I say that last week on this show?
No, you didn't say that about the hungry.
Okay.
The sense of urgency. I think you said something about the sense of urgency.
Okay, but they're not hungry. Last year, going into the season, you still had the whole I got to prove myself kind of thing. Jalen had the whole I got to prove myself kind of thing because going into last year, beginning of the season, nobody really believed that Jalen was the guy. Then about probably halfway through the season, people let that alone because at that point, Jalen, to people in people's eyes or minds or fans' eyes or minds, Jalen had proved himself. But they were still hungry because they had made it to the Super Bowl. Sirianni was still hungry. Second-year coach, had a good team. There was no reason for them not to advance into the playoffs, but they were hungry, and they played hungry last year. Even at the beginning of the year, this year, they were hungry. Why? Because all offseason, everybody was talking about, and all they were thinking about, the team was thinking about, was losing the Super Bowl and how, we were just a thread away. And if it wasn't for that bad call, we probably would have won, different things. But they went into the season this year hungry. At some point, I don't know if it was the 49ers game.
They lost that eye of the tiger.
They lost the hunger. When you're hungry, big dog, there's a certain urgency that takes place. Yeah, there's a certain energy that takes place. There's a certain swag that you have about yourself. There's a certain way you look in your eyes. Mm-hmm. And when was the last time you heard in any of the interviews Nick Sirianni or any of the players talking about, even Jalen Hurts talking about the dog mentality? That's a hunger. Yeah. That's a hunger. They talk about with a dog mentality. And the dog mentality is exactly what it says. It's a mentality. It's a state of mind.
A mindset.
A mindset, yes. And that mindset is no matter what happens, I'm still going to persevere. No matter what happens, I'm still going to end up on top. No matter what happens, I'm still going to get through this thing and get through this thing to a point to where we're winners, to where we're successful. I think just based on what is happening, you hear guys complaining in the locker room. A.J. Brown is upset about the cat caught over 100 balls, and he's upset about how many balls he's caught for freaking real.
11 targets in this past game with 8 receptions and 80 yards.
Come on. And he's upset about how much he's getting the ball. What is that?
I don't even know if that's true. I think the one thing that he's a little butthurt over the way people are critiquing him, and trying to paint that narrative. Some of the guys don't realize that you should listen to some of these yahoos who've never played the game.
Right. And get off of social media.
Yeah, get off of social. Yeah, because I think he's caught his feelings a little bit. But I love the way he came back into the game and played with whatever, because he got the crap knocked out of him on that one play. When he got hit he got hit in the tenders, in what we call the meat of the patty, and he got hit just right, but he came back in and he persevered through that. And I think that the one thing I think that did was it kind of brought them together, because pretty much after that he stayed in the game.
Yeah,
they put those drives together to pull it out in the end. The other thing that I loved about, the only really thing I loved about this game was at the end when. Did you see my man Slim Reaper's interview? You hear what he said?
No, I didn't see it, but I've been hearing. What did he say? I've been hearing different stuff.
He said, he's like, they asked him, was he happy that they got a victory? He's like, no. He's like, we had penalties, we had mistakes,
right.
We weren't executed properly.
Right.
We 11-3, but we can't go out there. We can't go out in the playoffs to get where we want to be, playing the way we played. But that resonated with everybody on the team. Said the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. But they've been saying that.
Well, weeks now. But they hadn't been winning. But I feel like, and I don't know if I said this last week. I feel like this win was going to be the first win was going to be ugly regardless. Just because for them to get back on the horse, because beginning you got your teeth kicked in, then you turn around and you
got embarrassed.
And then you turn around and you lose a game that you very well should have won.
As Don Shula would say, you pissed up a rope.
Yes, you pissed up a rope, and that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, Don Shula said that to us quite a bit. Trust me. Rest his soul. Rest his soul. That was his famous cliche. We go out there and we piss up a rope.
It's like, but then you come out here and you do everything to let this other team stay in the game, and you find a way to pull it out. And I think them pulling it out is a vote of confidence that they could do it and to play harder. And I think it's a mature thing. I think we supposed to win these next two. We supposed to come out and handle business in these next two. We got to start with this Arizona one now. I heard what Josh West said.
He said the defensive scheme. There's something wrong with the scheme. He doesn't like the defensive scheme.
No, he said we need to kick Jonathan Gannon's ass.
Oh well, he said that too, but he also said that he doesn't like. He has a problem with the defensive scheme and what's going on.
But yeah,
he also said that too, which leads me to believe, when between AJ Brown and Sweat, and you got Kelsey kind of voicing himself, you got Goddard saying different stuff. You got, like you said, Smith, Devontae Smith saying his thing. People are speaking out now. Players are speaking out now, not more so than they have in the past. And it that just leads me to believe there's a it's not a sense of urgency in my mind. It's almost slight panic. And even with the defensive coordinator change, that's a sign, in my opinion, of somewhat not. It's a panic. It's a little bit of a panic. And panic is emotions. Yeah. That's emotions.
Yeah, and it's unsure.
Yeah, they go up and down. They go in and out. It's not a mindset like we talked about with the mentality. It's not a mindset. It's an emotion. They're responding emotionally to what's happening. Like what you're saying about AJ Brown. Get off of social media. Stop allowing what you're hearing or what you're seeing to cause either an emotional reaction or emotional response on your part. Get out of the emotions. Get in your mindset, get on the field, get that dog mentality back, and get on the field and make it happen. Because there's no reason in the world, in my opinion, for this team not to score more points and not to have a double-digit win every week based on the talent that they have offensively. I don't care what the defense does. Yeah, we know the defense is not very good. And matter of fact, this week they're playing defense that is the worst defense in the league. They're the worst defense in the league.
And that brings up this one point too. It's like, and I think somebody asked me about this. On social media about what did I mean when I said that it is Nick Sirianni's offense, but I think he doesn't have the time to just concentrate on offense because you had two young coordinators, so you got to pay attention to both sides of the ball. So and then when you're the head coach, you didn't do like Andy did and go and hire an older guy who could pretty much be a head coach, but and older coaches on the defensive side that they could take care of that. You moved up within the ranks because you thought that he paid attention when Shane Steichen was doing what he was doing. Right. If you pay attention to everything that we've done up to this point in the season, we really just got our identity back this past game. We run the ball down, but he lost it for a second. We may have
scratched the surface of our identity, but I don't think we retained our identity.
I say this is the first time that we really that I've seen him go to what is our true identity. Let's run the ball down their throat. It's like if he tried it, and I'm glad the fans booed him when he tried those damn wide receiver screens. He need to excuse the language, shit can nose, and get rid of them because people are playing us for those. They know every time you run with a double set out there that you're about to try a wide receiver screen. Quit it.
Well, but you know what? And it's a pattern that I recognize, and I don't have the film like all of the other defensive coordinators in the league have in terms of being able to watch it over and over and over again. It's almost like a comfort blanket for the offense. When things are not going well, what do? They go to those little bubble screen, which to me is a waste of a play.
Yeah, but how can it be comfort and you're getting literally nothing? You're damn to get your receivers killed.
That's what I'm saying.
You're damn to get Dallas Goedert killed. Right. It's like, why are you going to that? That's
what I'm saying. It's a waste of a play. Why is it a waste of a play? Because I don't remember them ever gaining more than 5 or 6 yards on a bubble screen. They had a couple this year where they gained a few yards. And most of the time, they don't do well with that play. There's 1, 2 yards or 0 or minus yards on those plays.
Yeah, but you know when it worked? When he had the opposing team on their heels, run the ball down their throat and hitting some short routes. It was like it backed them up. You're not gonna back them up starting out with a wide receiver screen. You're not gonna back them up with that crap. And it's like the thing that like we took what they gave us this game. And that's what we need to do each and every drive. And that will keep our defense off the field. And when they get back on the field, if they get a 3 and out, you don't have to go 3 and out. They can get you the ball back. So you have to. It's it's one of those things where it's starting to not starting, but it's been working my nerve. And this was the first time. Their first half was the first time since the Tampa Bay game early in the season. It's the first time since then that we showed our identity at kicking people's ass. We got a hulking offensive line. That's our identity. We bully you, and then we throw the ball, and we put points on the board, and then we bully you some more.
Wow. You know, it's I forgot what I was going to say, but I'm going to shout out to Chris. JD Stroll's with us. Hollis Smoothies, that's Vinny Capriati, David Roscoe. What's going on? Somebody said earlier, this is what I was going to say. Somebody said earlier, I forget who it was. Ralph, I don't know if you can find this or not. Somebody said earlier in the chat, maybe we should put Covey and use him in the slot. Thank you. Covey should get some reps in the slot. You know what? Last year I probably would have said, obviously, no. Even the beginning of this year, I probably said no. Covey has gotten to a point. I thought I was a punt returner for 8 years. Right. I started at wide receiver and did punt returns for 8 years in the NFL. They don't have guys do that anymore, start and do punt returns like that. But I did it for 8 years. My first Pro Bowl was a Pro Bowl. I was a punt returner. I made my first Pro Bowl as a punt returner. So, in watching Britton Covey last year, return punts, he made me nervous. When the opposing team was punting, I got nervous because he just didn't make mistakes or anything like that. Right. He got us a little edgy sometimes, but he didn't hurt the team last year at all. But he just didn't look comfortable. He didn't look comfortable catching the ball. He didn't look comfortable in some of the decisions that he made. And even at the beginning of this year, I guess I was kind of leaning towards what I saw last year and how I felt about what he was doing last year. But as the season has gone on, he has really gotten better and gotten more comfortable. And he was one of the bright spots. At first punt return, nice long punt with 40-some yards return. I had it written down. But yeah, 54 yards. It was 54-yard punt return. Yeah. Great. He's been doing a great job. Then he came in and caught one of those bubble screens later on in the game and, got a couple of yards, but that's all they ever get out of those. Yeah. But listen, he's probably one of the few players on the team right now that's feeling himself, that has the confidence that will go in without having an attitude. Doesn't matter how many balls I'm catching. Doesn't matter when he'll go out there and block. He'll do whatever is necessary to win the game.
You know why though? Because he hasn't really played. So
he hasn't really played. So he's still. What I'm saying is he's still hungry, and he's one of the guys that if we put him out there, he's really going to do a good job. So I'm not opposed to letting Covey come in the slot and play a little bit. Let him play. He's been one of the bright spots.
And the funny part is it made light of fire on some of the other guys' ass if he starts taking some of their reps.
Well, what's going to happen is, and this is why it's not. What's going to happen is, and this is why it's not going to happen. This is why Covey's not going to get any reps out there at the wide receiver position. Is because he'll be taking somebody else's reps, and then we'll hear more mouth from the AJ Browns and whoever else is going to complain about how much they get the ball and when they get the ball. I'm just really surprised, really ridiculously surprised at AJ Brown not being happy with what's going on in terms of his involvement in the offense. Again, nobody in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles have caught more balls than he has in the last 2 years. Right. He broke the record last year, right?
He wants more.
And he broke that record this year. Yep. And he still got 2 games to play.
Yep. And you know what? You know who else ain't going to be happy? Ralphie, if we don't play this next video for him.
Oh, sorry, Ralph. Ralph will cut us off. Hey, Ralph, hit it, man.
Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat John. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at Hats.com to find your perfect size and style, and shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
And fun.
We in the house. Well, listen, you mentioned this earlier about some of our defense. We know our defense not putting pressure on the quarterbacks, not getting the sacks that we were getting last year. Linebackers are just, at best, I would say their play is average. Would you say?
It's been below average, but
I said at best. I said at best it's average.
This game, I think Shaq Leonard is starting to get his feet because it makes some plays in the backfield against some of the run plays. They ran the same run like 12 times against them.
That's because you keep running it until they stop it. If they don't stop it, you keep on running it.
The exact same play though.
Yeah, why not if it's working?
And we did make a quality adjustment. So I understand when Josh Sweat. I think that's why I thought that Matt Patricia should have been, the Mad Hatter, the Mad Scientist early on, because he would have been able to do some things. It's kind of late in the game now to try to get him to do some things. All he can do is call what you have in, and everything is going to be basic and vanilla.
Right.
I think I think it's going to be a little bit better, but it's like I can't expect what I saw last year because we minus 3 linebackers, 2 safeties, and then a D tackle that was a force to be reckoned with for a quality rotation.
Well, it seems one of the ways to neutralize Sweat is to run the ball at him, and he's not real effective in stopping the run. Not nearly as effective as he is in rushing the passer and sacking the quarterback. But even then, he's been less than what he's been last year.
What he was last year.
Right.
But I think it's mainly because I don't think it's definitive of what they're supposed to do. The thing that as a defensive lineman, you want to let them to think as less as possible. You want them to seek and destroy it. Too many times I see guys losing contain and not having any gap integrity. That's what I'm looking for, some gap integrity, because when you get to the playoffs, it's going to get colder. They're going to be running the ball, and the team will run the ball down your throat and have a good enough defense, just enough to keep us out of the end zone and keep us kicking field goals at times. And it's a team sport for a reason. And sometimes you have to bow up, sir.
Well, there even the times. I noticed there's a little bit. I don't know if it's because Patricia has come in and maybe has tried to, add a little salt and pepper to what they were already doing.
Because you can't let a quarterback stand back. You can't. The thing is, and then everybody will tell you this: if you allow any quarterback in the NFL to sit back there and think,
he's gonna pick you apart.
He will pick you apart. Yeah. Guys can only cover for so long, and it's like you have to make it. And that's why sometimes, if your linebacker core is like ours, they ain't doing nothing but cover grass. Send them. Send them to make a quick decision.
But my point exactly, I saw there was a blitz, and Blankenship was he was blitzing from back, from a safety position, blitzing down, and he's blitzing on the same side as Sweat,
right?
And the two of them ran into each other.
It's like
so it's like the blitz is just not effective if you don't know where you're supposed to. What lane you're supposed to go where you're supposed to enter the fit. Yeah, where you're supposed to fit. So they're both going in the same direction, and they run into each other, and it nullified what they were trying to do.
So one man block two is the one thing, and that's the one thing that sometimes you don't realize how gratuitous you are when you have a coach that is meticulous about the blitz and meticulous about you staying in your gap.
Right.
Dude, it's like
you got to do that. You got to do that.
We walked through blitzes, we ran through blitzes, we walked through them again, and then we had blitz period. Then we walked through them again.
Right.
It was repetitive leading up to game week, and it's one of those things where it's not just gonna come overnight. But if especially if people don't understand why they're supposed to stay in certain places,
right?
It's like it may look inviting to go inside.
And
but
that's
you have
what
the
it-
blitzer. But
Yes.
you have the blitzer coming.
Yes.
And,
And
that's
that's
why you don't. It's like because if you don't go inside, if you stay on your track,
it's a wide open lane.
yes, and not only that, he has to make a decision to block either one of you. But you just helped him block both of you guys.
Right. And that's what it looked like. That's what it looked like in that blitz. It looked like Sweat was supposed to stay outside, but it was very inviting for him to go inside, or easier for him to go inside. And when he went inside, that's when he ran into Blankenship, who was trying to get in that gap. Had Sweat stayed outside, that lane would have been wide open for Blankenship to get to the quarterback, and he may have hit the quarterback or even gotten a sack. But like you said, you got to maintain the integrity of the blitz and know what lane you're supposed to take, because you got to know who's blitzing and where he's coming from. And sometimes that means being selfless, not selfish.
Not selfish, yeah.
For the cause of the bigger picture.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that we used to be like, don't be selfish. One, two, don't keep secrets. We know the defense. Just tell us what we're supposed to do.
Right.
The one thing that I just saw one of the comments from John Skill. He said Bradbury needs to take a seat. Quite possibly. He did.
Listen, we're in a position. No, I agree, because listen, Blankenship gave up that big pass, 26 yards to Waller with a minute and 10 seconds left. That put them in a position to try to win the game.
But who had been covering them all game and holding them to literally nothing?
That was Ringo, and it was Eli Ricks. That's who had been covering them.
Okay.
And they played great.
They played tremendously.
Those are that's what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Ringo, Ringo played, he's got his first start last week against Seattle. Man, he played great against Seattle. He came up and stuck that running back on the play. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. And that's
the type of corner support I enjoy.
Listen, he was aggressive. Eli Ricks had been playing in the slot, okay? Mm-hmm. He had not been doing, he was vulnerable in the slot. He had given up a few big plays going all the way back to the LA game. Right. But this week, according to Pro Football Focus, he had the highest grade of any of the corners when he played outside. He played 50 snaps on the outside at corner the last 2 games and gave up 1 catch on 6 targets for 1 yard. That's nice. Eli Ricks. So with Ringo and Ricks, the R brothers, Ringo and Ricks, we may be looking at our starting 2 corners next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're new. That's the second coming. They're the young cats. It's time for some new blood, and that's what I think. That's one of the things that we have to come to grips with. It's the Slay and the Bradbury thing. Is Bradbury is looking like he's lost his step.
I think Bradbury, again, not in his defense, but because they moved him around. He's been playing in the slot. They have not been playing lately a lot of the cover 2 that he's comfortable with. That's what he came from with the Giants. He's had to play man. He's not a man coverage corner. It's almost a little like Bobby Taylor. When Bobby Taylor
Bobby Taylor was able to adapt. We're not going to mention Bradbury and Bobby Taylor together.
Oh no, I'm not. Listen, I'm just saying Bobby Taylor.
It's my boy's birthday too.
Is it Bobby's birthday today?
It's Bobby's birthday today.
All right, Bobby, happy birthday.
Don't feel like that.
But what I'm saying is they would give Bobby more help over the top than they would Troy. They leave Troy one-on-one by himself.
But
quite often. It depended on who you were playing.
Who you're playing.
Right.
See what Jim used to like to do was put who he felt was his second best corner on their best receiver and give him help over the top, and put our best corner, who we felt was our best lockdown corner. Most aggressive corner was Troy. Troy,
right.
Troy. He was the most aggressive and the most meticulous in shutting down the receiver. Mm-hmm. And you would give him a little help, but you're not scared to leave him alone.
Right. Not with the second best receiver.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But they give the best one to Bobby and give Bobby a little help over the top. And put the second, and that's just smart. That just makes sense.
They're giving the way Bobby played too. It was like that's why we were able to blitz and stuff, because of his physical nature, him being long and him being a student of the game.
Right, so. And that's the difference between Bobby and Bradbury. Not that Bobby probably had a little more talent than Bradbury. But Bobby
Mr. Basketball in Texas.
But Bobby could run down the field. I played on one-on-one with Bobby all the time. So Bobby could run with you down the field. He could hold the receiver if he had to.
Right.
If he had to. Bradbury can't. He can't at all. And they put him in that position quite often, particularly in the last 4 or 5 games, and he's really been exposed. But I do agree with you in the fact that, yeah, they're probably this is probably the last season we're going to see Bradbury in an Eagles uniform.
Yeah, because I can't see us going into the hamstring and going into the season with this ordeal again with him and Big Play Slay.
No, Big Play might not be here next year as well.
Yeah, that's why you draft the young guys and you bring them along.
And then we got a lot of draft picks early on next year. We got a lot of draft picks, which hopefully will help keep this team in a position to be successful next year. But I mean, we are 11-4. We do have an opportunity. We still have an opportunity to have the number one seed. Yeah.
Somebody in the what you call it was just said it. John Skill? He's like Eagles in the driver's seat to have the number one seed, but he's having a hard time forgiving Bradbury. Me too.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's not been. Bradbury has not been an asset as of lately. And I'd say when I say as of lately, I mean the last 5 or 6 games, particularly during that stretch of hard games. Starting with Dallas and then the bye, and then you have who else did we? 49ers, and then Buffalo, and during that hard stretch, he was not
toast.
Yeah, he was toast. All right. We do we have him on right now?
No, yeah, the hats.com.
He said has to read without Brian Dawkins. Read just do no.
No Brian.
Okay, yeah. Got you. We got you. All right. Listen, let me get it out.
Good. Get it out now.
Yeah, I got it out. I had the other readout. I got this readout. Listen, we don't have Brian on today. He had an emergency, so we'll see if we can't get him on next week. We just got word just a little while ago, but we do have a read. All right? Yes, we do. And that's hats.com. It's the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Yeah, hats.com. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics. They're crazy about all Philly sports: football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Yup, hats.com can help you elevate your hat, John. You do know John is a Philly thing, right? Yeah, John, I know. It's a noun. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at hats.com to find your perfect size and style. Shippings and returns are free. That's not normal. That's not common. Shipping and returns are free. That's great. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly. I'm sorry. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. I'm just out of whack today.
Yeah.
Hats.com, y'all. I can't see. Listen, it was bad yesterday, big dog.
Yeah.
When I would get up from sitting down, I would almost fall over because I would get dizzy. I had so much congestion in my head, and it was so painful up in my sinuses and whatnot. Man, I would almost fall over, man. I got dizzy. I had to go to the pharmacy to go get my prescription. Right. And man, I couldn't see. I had to drive myself, but I couldn't see. It took me what normally would have taken me about 15, 20 minutes. It took me almost an hour.
Oh man, you suffering. Well, it's a bug that's going around that's got a lot of people down. What was our agree to disagree question for the day?
Okay.
I didn't know.
It is. Eagles will win the last 2 games of the season. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. But it's gonna be ugly though. I'm just letting you know it's going to be ugly, and I think that's remember before we played the Seattle game. I said, and you said, what did I think was going to happen if we lost Seattle? I said, if we lose Seattle, then we were going to back into the playoffs. We probably get one victory, and then we have to see who we play in that next game to see if we had a testicle fortitude to pull through that second one. I think building up to it that we will get that first victory because whoever we play is going to just be happy to be in the playoffs. And I think that once the guys get to the playoffs, it's a whole different story. Like I was cracking up because today I was watching this. I was watching the show, and they started talking about different players who who they felt like should. The Hall of Fame is coming up, and Eric Allen is one of the finalists, and one of my buddies, Jari Evans.
Yeah, Jari.
He's one of the finalists as well. I was like, but a lot of people was talking about Hall of Fame stuff, and they was talking about the quarterbacks, who once they get in the playoffs, they falter. They don't do anything. They pump up their numbers and blow up their numbers during the season, and like a lot of times when people don't pay attention to how Kyle Shanahan nuts up in the playoffs.
Right.
It's like how different people they nut up in the playoffs, and the playoffs is a different animal.
Right. It's a different level.
Yeah, it's a different level. I think you made it to the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's a different level.
Yeah.
I didn't. My first year, when I was with you guys, and that was my rookie year. Dude, the speed went up another notch. I didn't know I could do it. I didn't know that it could go up another notch.
You didn't know it could even go up another notch.
I know, it had already skipped up a notch from college
you came out of
pro.
college. Yeah.
And then I was like, somebody's like, it's a different level in playoffs. I was like, wait a minute, whoa. It's like, what is it, high, super high? I mean, what is
Yeah, brother, it changes.
It's kind of like playing Madden. You play Madden, and then there's all Madden.
Right. Well, I think, you know what? Like I said, get right game. The Eagles needed a get right game. I thought that the Giants, because of how bad the Giants are, they would be able to impose their will and play the whole game like they did the first quarter and a half of the game and impose their will on the Giants. They obviously faltered, made some mistakes. Penalties. Oh, the penalties are just, what's up with the Kelsey penalties? Good gracious. The penalties that they keep getting, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. But this wasn't a get right game. The Giants game was not a get right game for them. So now we're playing. This is a team.
Now I have a question. When you say
they got three wins, they got 3 wins.
I know, but when you say a get right game, you just basically saying all facets of the team is clicking.
Well, just not when I say a get right game, get a win and feel good about it.
Yeah,
just like you said, Devontae Smith, we won. I don't feel good. No, how can they feel good about that win when this is a team they should have dominated? Or throttled, however you want to call it, and they didn't. So this team that they're playing this week, the Arizona Cardinals, they're coming to the East Coast. This team is worse than the Giants. They got 3 freaking wins. They lost last week against a team that only had 5 wins. So they're one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the league. They're traveling all the way across the country. Now we have a built-in incentive to be excited because it's Jonathan Gannon.
And it's a 1 o'clock game.
So when I say a get-right game, play a game where you beat a team that you're supposed to beat, and you do it in good fashion. Yeah. Where you don't have a setback in the game, where you give them an opportunity to feel good about themselves and have a chance to win the game. That's what happened against the Giants. The Giants easily could have won that game. They were just a play or two away from winning the game against the Eagles.
Yeah, the play or two away before they could have took DeVito out a couple of plays before they did.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Everybody was had the chest shockers out.
Yeah. Well, listen, they have an opportunity to still be have the number 1 seed. We know the 49ers still have to lose a game, and the Giants have to lose a game. I mean, not the Giants, the Lions. I'm sorry. The Lions have to lose a game in order for the Eagles to get the number 1 seed. That could possibly happen. It's less likely that the 49ers will lose one of their last 2 games. It's possible that the Lions may lose one of their last 2 games. But at worst case scenario, the Eagles will win the division. But in order for them to outright win the division without having to win both of these next 2 games, that means Dallas has to beat the Lions. No, Dallas has to beat the Lions. No, I'm sorry, for them to get number 1 in the division. Dallas has to beat the Lions.
You made number 1 in the conference.
I'm sorry. Yeah, conference.
Yeah.
Dallas has to beat the Lions because they're ahead of Dallas.
Right.
Yeah, in order for them to get to number 1 in the conference, Dallas. So I can't cheer for Dallas this weekend.
I can't cheer.
Yeah, so we just have to get it ourselves. I
feel like we just handle our business and the rest will take care of itself.
Win the last 2 games. But this game has got to be their get right game. This game has got to be a game where they go into the game and they impose their will and they do a good job on defense. Hopefully Ricks will be in there. Hopefully Ringo will be in there. They'll allow those two corners, because those two corners right now, they're hungry. They're hungry. They're playing like they're hungry. They're playing with good intensity. And I'm really impressed with Eli Ricks, because he struggled earlier in the season. They had him playing in the slot, but once they put him out on the corner, out there on the outside, man, he's really been playing well. He's a thin guy. He's not a real heavy guy, but man, he plays with great intensity. I like what he's doing right now, and I like the way he's fought through the issues that he had earlier in the season, and he's playing well right now.
I think it was just he'd been a rookie and getting adjusted to the game.
Right.
It's like that, because somebody was like Ricks is a better than Ringo thus far, and I think it's mainly because Ricks has got a chance to get his feet wet.
He's played more.
He's played a lot more, and he's had a chance to get his feet wet. So and had a chance to have some failures and some success. So he's starting to gain some confidence, and that's what you want out of your young players. And you're right. I feel like this game is one of those games that we need to put the entire game's offense, defense, and special teams together.
Right.
When you say get right, I mean the whole damn team, coaches and everything.
Right. And we need to get a couple of sacks in this game. Listen. Yes,
a couple of sacks, some turnovers, the whole shebang.
Kyler Murray, in every game he started this year, he's gotten sacked a minimum of 2 times.
Yeah.
A minimum of 2 times. So we at least got to get we got to get 2 sacks on him at least, because everybody else that Kyler Murray has played against has gotten 2 sacks on him. Yeah. So we have let's get back in the sack rhythm and get back in the game defensively. Let our defensive line play well. Those guys in the secondary hang in there and don't allow any big plays. And offensively, let's score some points. Let's score 30. Let's score 35. We can do that against this team. Their defense is the worst defense in the league. We have, it may not be in the top 5 now because we really haven't been doing anything, but let's stop turning the ball over. We have turned the ball over at a rate that's just absolute 2+ turnovers in the last 3 straight games. We've had 2+ turnovers offensively. We given up 25 points to the set last week. We gave up 25 points to the second lowest scoring offense in the league. That's the Giants.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. They're the second lowest scoring team in the league, and we gave up 25 points to them. Yikes. So again, that's why, we won, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like we've gotten the training back on the tracks. Like this team can go out and us have confidence, or them even have any confidence in the fact that they have 2 more games to play. Can we win them both?
The best way to describe this is we won because we were supposed to. If we would have lost, everybody would have been talking worse about us than they already are.
But we were supposed to win against Seattle.
Yeah, and they were talking bad about us for that.
Yeah, and reason being, that's good. And they had reason to do that.
Reason to do so, yeah.
Yeah, because we're better. This team has nothing to do with physical ability. It has nothing to do with physical talent. It all has to do with 2 things. 1, mental state, our mindset, where this team is. I heard someone talking earlier today about are the guys on the team pressing? Are they trying too hard? I don't think that's the case. But I don't think that's the case. They're not trying hard enough. Yeah, they look tired. They look beat up. They look fatigued, man, worn down. I don't know what that is. And again, that's somewhat of a mental state. Maybe they're focused on the wrong things. I don't know, but it doesn't look like they're trying hard enough to me because like I said, I mentioned it last week. Walking on the field. Yeah,
walking off the field. We got a penalty for Jalen Carter walking off the field.
Yeah.
Had to go back on the field. Defense had to go.
Yeah, and the other penalty that they got that they said was originally the announcers originally said it was against Jalen Carter. I still think it was against Jalen Carter.
It was. You can't. The center made a sudden move. You can't.
Oh, he did.
Okay. The center did like this, and then he did like this. When he did like this, and then the other dude pointed, They was trying to get him to jump off sides.
Oh,
It's like,
okay.
you can't do all of that stuff. And then I was like, man, cut that crap out.
I noticed Jason Kelsey stopped doing that because he used to make that little quick move before he snapped the ball. He stopped doing that. He doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I gotta get
he just moves the ball. So listen, it's 5:57.
Yeah,
big dog.
Let me get this.
You got some history. We have some history with Hollis.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, big dog.
Yeah, we got history with this day in history with Hollis Thomas is brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go to phillysportstrips.com and pick one of our traveling, tailgating, or one of our event packages to join one of us in one of our great fandom events. Today is December the 28th, 2023. It's the 361st day of the year. There's only 4 of these puppies remaining. Today is National Holiday. Today is National Chocolate Candy Day. Today is short. Yes, today is Short Film Day. Today is also Pledge of Allegiance Day.
Wow.
It's also Call a Friend Day and Card Play Day. Now we got some events here. We're going to start back in 1832, and John Calhoun was the very first vice president to resign under Andrew Jackson due to creative differences.
Creative differences.
Yes, creative differences. 1869, William Finley Simple, he of Mount Vernon, Ohio. He got a patent for chewing gum.
Wow.
In 1902, the first indoor pro football game was played with Syracuse and Philadelphia.
What year was that?
In 1902. It was played at Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Oh, really?
We lost 6-0. Then we got 1905. The Intercollegiate Athletic Association of the United States was founded in 1905. 1910, it was named the NCAA.
Wow.
In 1947, the NFL Chicago Cardinals, they beat the Philadelphia Eagles 28-21. It was the Cardinals' only title victory. 1949, 20th Century Fox announced that they were going to start producing TV programs. And the greatest game ever played was the Baltimore Colts. They won the 26th National Football League championship versus the Giants of New York, 23-17. You wonder why it was the greatest game? It was played
I was going to say why.
At Yankee Stadium, and it was the very first game in NFL history to go into sudden death overtime.
Okay.
And also 17 future Hall of Famers played in that game.
Wow.
And so I had two Dallas things here. Okay. The first
why? Can I ask you why first? Why? Are they bad?
Well, the first one is bad.
Okay. I want to hear that.
1969, the Dallas Cowboys kicker Mike Clark, in attempting to kick an onside kick versus the Cleveland Browns, he totally missed the ball. Now, the next one I have to mention, due to the fact of in doctrine, the Hail Mary in 1975. Roger Staubach to Drew Pearson. That's all I'm giving you for that.
I appreciate your briefness.
Yes, in 2008, the Lions lose to the Packers at Lambeau Field, 31-21. You know what that signified?
What is it?
The very first team in NFL history to go 0-16 in a season.
Wow!
And guess who quarterbacked that team?
Who?
Dan Ostrowski. Now I got some birthdays. I have some birthdays here. 1922, Stan Lee of Marvel Comics. What's up to today's Dave Mayer's birthday of the Wooden Indian. Happy birthday, Dave. Dave turned 75 today. Today is Steve Abure's birthday, 1920. It's Denzel Washington, 1954, and Gail King. Both of them were born in 1954. 1973, Seth Meyers and Bobby Taylor. 1978, John Legend. In 1979, tennis player James Blake. This day in history with Hollis Thomas has been brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go to phillysportstrips.com and check out all of our tailgates and our trips, all of our fandom. And we're in partnership with phillysportshirts.com. Go and hit the vetted tab and go and get some vetted gear or some damn skimpy gear or some maximize my sexy gear, or if the victory wasn't pretty, but the W is sexy gear. That's all I got for you, man.
That's all he got.
Yeah,
That's not all we got, though.
That's not all we got. What we got?
we got our predictions for this weekend.
Oh, okay. What you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first. You can go first.
The prediction for this weekend, I think it's going to be a nice sound thrashing of the Cardinals are going to complete another disarray. I think they're going to come out and try real hard. But I think a lot of our players are going to be pissed because they feel like Jonathan Gannon cost them a Super Bowl victory because he was thinking about moving on to the next one. So I said this is going to be Eagles 28-14.
I you know what? I like that score. But the Eagles, I'm going to predict that the Eagles are going to win this game. They're going to win it easy. 28-24. They're going to control the game. I believe this will be their get-right game because I really have confidence in this team that they're going to start playing with confidence, that the mindset is going to change. Because even if they win this game, but they win it in the same fashion that they just beat the Giants, I think that's going to hurt the Eagles more than it's going to help them. Because they should beat this team and they should beat this team handily. They should not struggle to win this game. They struggled a little bit, and that's an overstatement maybe, but they had some issues in the latter part of the game that they should not have had versus the Giants. Right. They will not have those issues with the Cardinals.
I think a lot of that had to do with the coaching staff of the Giants. Wink Martindale is a really good defensive coordinator, and that offense. And then I love Brian Daboll as a coach in general. Right. He just got. I think they settled back with Danny Dimes. So,
but you know what? I'm again. The Cardinals have only won 3 games this year. They're not a good team.
That don't mean nothing. They come in here with that
exactly. That's where I'm going with this. They're not a good team, but that doesn't mean they can't play above their heads in a particular game. Jonathan Gannon was here. I know he's putting a little extra effort into this.
He's going to come back to just to tease the fans.
Of course, and they're going to have some trick plays. They're going to have all kinds of stuff going on. They got nothing to lose. The only thing that they can lose is their draft position next year in the league. Yep. And by winning another game. So I don't. And as far as I'm concerned, I've been on teams where we've only had 2 or 3 wins, and we go in to play the spoiler. We're not looking to lose a game, trying to get a better draft pick. We're going in trying to be the spoiler. That's what they have going for them. Yeah, that's the mentality they're coming in with. Yeah,
we beat the year the Rams won the championship. We beat them like one of the last games of the year. So
yes,
and we end up we still got Donovan that next year, but
I'll even increase the score a little, like 34-14.
Okay.
That's my score, 34-14.
Okay.
All right.
Got you covered. Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Listen, thanks for putting up with me today, man.
No problem, man. I think the team.
You're laughing at me. I'm trying to make my reads, and you hear me babbling all over the place, stumbling and fumbling. You start laughing.
I'm like, man. The people understand that you work through your sickness.
Yeah, you work through your sickness.
That's what players do.
That's what we do. Yeah, but it's easier for me to go out and catch a ball than it is to read a.
You don't realize that until you're trying to do it.
Until you try to do it, you're seeing double.
You're like, oh God, man.
Yeah, I'm not seeing this the right way, and my mouth is not saying, articulating, moving like what my eyes see.
Yeah.
But we got through it, bro. We got through it. All right, everybody. We're done. This is A2D Radio. This is the show Vetted. Yes, this is the show Vetted with Irving Fryar and Big Dog Hollis Thomas over there. He's over there. Yeah. We'll see you next week after the Cardinals get defeated by the Eagles next Wednesday. I mean, what they play Monday? No, Sunday. They play Sunday
at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. We're happy about that.
Yes, I know. Yeah. We'll see you here next Thursday.
Yes.
5 p.m. right here, A2D Radio on Vetted. Go